Welcome to the
epic show. But guess what? This is something that I didn't even tell David I was doing. We're scrapping the intro and we're getting right into this.
Actually, this is David editing the podcast, here to say that Gabe sucks and we're playing the intro.
Warning. You're about to embark on an adventure of epic proportions. Buckle up, bucko. You're now tuned in to the Epic Show. With your hosts, Gabe and Dave. Coming to you live from the Epic Center.
If you look at my posture right now, this is Larry King posture. You see, you know
What's
Larry
going
King?
on right now?
You know Larry King?
I know about him.
This is how he sits.
Yeah.
And this is how he would bring you the scenario of the week. Okay.
No intro this week.
Let me run it past you. So this started off on a FaceTime conversation with me and David. And I was like, randomly, I was like, what do you think about taxidermy?
Yeah. And I was just like, I don't know. I don't really like it. It's a dead animal in my house.
Which I figured he'd say. And then I hit him with the question. I was like, well, theoretically, like, what if Roots died?
Roots, the cat.
And Roots is
Who's right over
There's
here.
going to be a picture of her right here.
There's a picture in this.
Probably of her in her college, Roots Tech.
It's probably the one of her screaming.
She also screams.
So.
But I love Roots to death. And I was like, dude,
Roots.
why do you think it'd be weird if I taxidermied Roots? And like after she was dead, because she doesn't like to be pet a lot right now, like in her live days. And if she was taxidermied, I'd be able to fold her in positions and stuff. And like,
Well, it's a set position, right? Usually.
Well, yeah, but that's like if they put like metal rods like where her bones were and stuff. I would just
So
ask
you
her
just
to
want
be,
like a flaccid.
it would be like a
taxidermied cat.
Yeah, it'd be like a squishmallow root.
Well, is it like an action figure so you can like mold it into a position? Because otherwise, it's just gonna lay like
It's just a
be
stuffed animal.
noodled. Stuffed animal. Okay,
Literally
cool.
a stuffed animal.
But if it's taxidermy, it's not a stuffed animal. It's just a dead cat. The skin of a dead cat.
Well, I might just take her carcass to Build-A-Bear.
Oh God!
And you know how they like stuff the thing
Yeah.
and fill
You
it up
just
with
bring
fluff?
a dead cat
I
in
bring
there.
my dead rat in there, and I'm like,
You gotta fill this one up.
I move the people out of the way, and I'm like,
You're just like, I already de-gutted it. You just gotta fill it up,
no, I fill it. But like no one else is filling this rat but me.
and it just smells horrendous in there.
Yeah, it smells bad, and well, I mean, I would wash her. I would take care of her skin and stuff, or her fur.
I don't even know how taxidermy works.
Yeah, me neither. But
well, you're just like in there. I just walk into your house and you're petting your taxidermy. You don't even tell me like she died. I just walk in there and I'm like, why is she moving? And you're just like, what are you talking about? She moves right now. Look, and you're like,
look, she's moving.
making her move with your hands.
I have like a puppet apparatus
Oh
that I like
gosh.
control with my feet.
You hire like a guy to be a fly on the wall and just act like she's alive, and he's just operating her like behind doors and stuff.
Like I'm like, dude, like if he does something that like breaks her character, I like freak out. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
you-
that's not what she would do right there.
Redo it.
Read it from the top, I'm like, I have to take another shower.
Quiet on set.
I'm like, no, she jumps through this
You
window.
redo your whole day.
She jumps through this window. She picks up this vent and crawls through this vent and goes outside. Idiot.
Redo it.
I'm like, what am I paying you for? He's like, sir, I haven't eaten in weeks.
Please, sir.
I'm like, well, Roots didn't sleep, so.
So get back in your place. There's like multiple guys.
But yeah, it started off, the conversation started off with that, and then I was like, let's push this a step further. And I was
Yeah,
like,
it's like, well, you just start taxiderming all your loved ones.
yeah.
as well.
So essentially, say you meet a guy off like Bumble Friends, right?
Like how we met. Yeah.
Like how we met. And you meet him and everything's cool. Like he's like funny, he's smart, he has your same sense of humor and stuff. And then
Yeah.
the relationship's going well, but you guys are only hanging out in public. And then eventually it's like the big game. The big game's coming around.
You know that
right?
big game that's coming up?
You know the big game, and he wants to he wants you to come over and have a few beers at his spot, and you're like, okay, well, I know this guy now. Like, he's not weird, and like you go into his house, and as soon as you walk in the living room, like you see his taxidermied relatives
just in a separate side room.
Well, in this one, I was thinking they'd be sitting on the couch, like they would have like drinks in their hands, and like one would be standing over the stovetop, like cooking, and he would come in.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah, and he would come in and he'd be like, "Hey guys," and he'd go up to him and he'd kiss each one on the cheek and like be like, "I love you, Mom," and like
about to go to the big game.
Yeah, we're just about to go to the big game, like, and then he goes to his room and he leaves you out in the living room with all of his taxidermied relatives, right?
Yeah.
And he gets dressed and like, whenever he comes back and he puts on and he's in his big game outfit, like, are you gonna be like, man, actually,
yeah, what'd he do?
I don't really want to go to this game anymore because I've seen this display
You would say
of
that?
atrocity. No,
Realistically,
would you say that, or would you be like, well, he's really cool besides this, and then
yeah, but what if he's a 10, but he taxidermies his relatives?
yeah,
but like, what if he has everything that
everything else
person,
is like perfect, dude, and
except he just does that.
Except he just has this weird thing where he taxidermies his uncles,
And
grandpas.
You're like, do you have any drinks or something? Like, and you're just like, he's like, yeah, I'll get you one in a second. And he goes to the bathroom, and you go in the garage because you're like, oh, maybe there's like a fridge in the garage,
Mhm.
and then it's just like 50 people tied, and they're like, all the people he met on Bumble Friends are in there.
Like, imagine like a tape around my mouth and
with apples in their mouth for some reason. I don't
yeah,
know.
he makes them bob for apples before. Oh.
You just like, he would just go and like dance with them in the.
Yeah,
It's like a ballroom.
At night, he would live out his sick prom fantasy because he never got invited to prom, like, or got accepted to prom by a girl. So he like takes young girls and dresses them up in outfits.
Dark.
These taxidermied women and dresses them up in outfits and has all of the live people like clap and cheer for him for being the homecoming king, the prom king.
He makes them do that. He hires the same guy who does the taxidermy.
Who does the roots taxidermy.
And there's just like a clapper thing.
Oh,
at that point, just be friends with those guys. They're alive. Like,
yeah, you'll end up with them.
oh man.
That's a good
So
scenario.
that's honestly, it's like a horror movie. So, which kind of brings in to a new thing we want to try out. So this is paint this scenario in your head, right?
Okay.
So you're in a really fancy building. It's like 100 floors,
Mhm.
and you get in the
Chrysler
elevator,
building.
and you're on the top floor going to level 1, and
You're on the top. Or, no, you're on the bottom floor. You guys.
you're going up.
You're trying to make it up to the very top floor.
It's a big building,
Okay.
and someone walks in, and you're like, wait, that's the CEO of 21st Century, or insert this production company
That's
here.
Derek Livingston,
No way, that's
CEO of Fox Brothers in 22nd millennium.
no way, that's Derek Warner, the guy from Warner Brothers.
Yeah, the Warner Brother guy. Or, oh wait, that's David Galanos
from the Epic Show.
from the Epic Show, the CEO.
And then at that point,
Oh wait, I'm in the Epic building.
yeah, that's gonna happen soon.
Pretty
And,
soon we're in talks with some construction companies.
And yeah, so at that point you either just like mash all the buttons on the floor, or I mean, you probably just have to hit the emergency or like lock.
You
or
get
whatever.
in the elevator with him,
Yeah, so
and it's just a one-on-one situation.
he can't get out. That's the point. And you got
Yeah.
probably at least a few minutes before like security comes or somebody's coming to
Yeah,
save
it's
him.
like 200 floors.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, they got to take the stairs. So you got some time. And at this point, you got to pitch this guy your movie, obviously, because you have a movie that you've been writing a screenplay for months now, and you got to pitch it to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
otherwise known in the industry as the 30-second pitch.
But this is the kind
This is
of
the epic
non-consensual 3-minute pitch. So,
let's hear yours first.
do you want to hear mine?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wrote it down, and this is verbatim what's gonna happen to him.
And I'll be acting like
So you're gonna be the guy.
Gabe Hillier, epic
Right.
CEO.
Okay. So sorry, sir. I know this is odd, but
Why did you press every button on the elevator?
Well, there's this movie I've been working on, and come on, man, just 3 minutes.
I guess I have no choice.
I am a CEO.
I will allot you with my CEO powers until we reach the top floor to speak to you.
Okay. So this is called LITTLEMAN. Okay? And this is a 9-movie saga following the life of Larry Littleman, a small man with a big heart. So, Larry Littleman lives in a small village that is known for their delicious and savory lagers. Okay? Where do these lagers come from, you may ask? Well, Littleman's Lagers, of course. The hottest lager establishment in all of the village. One problem faces Larry Littleman, though. While he lives in a small village, it technically is a very large village. Due to an extremely rare birth defect, Larry is 12.1 inches tall. Larry struggles deeply with his self-esteem, as he is rarely ever noticed by his normal-sized peers in the village. It is only his outstanding lagers that provide any sort of attention and love towards Littleman. Thus, Larry takes very strong pride in his lager-making abilities. So much pride that he refuses any help in his business. He insists on him, and only him, running Littleman's lagers. One day, however, Larry notices that business is no longer booming. A new lager location has opened up right down the street, a location known as Bigman's Beers. Bigman's Beers is owned by none other than Barry Bigman, a large oaf-like man who is loud, outspoken, and brash. Barry's beers are actually not quite as tasty as Larry's lagers, but due to Barry's large stature and strength, he is able to produce beers at a much faster rate than Larry. Larry puts his all in making each lager perfect to the best of his ability, but this leads Larry to sometimes leave customers waiting longer than they may like. And since he refuses to hire help, this problem persists. Meanwhile, Barry is pumping beers, lagers, and IPAs left and right. Larry cannot compete with Bigman's beers, and Littleman's lagers is forced to adapt or else it would go out of business. This begins Larry's journey in saving his business as he learns to love himself, separate his self-worth from his work, and overcome his shortcomings. Cue applause. So I was thinking maybe like 200 million up front, and then we can split the sales 70-30.
Yeah, security, it's this guy. Dude, that's a gripping tale. That's
It's
really
Littleman.
that is you put so much work
It was
into
four-
that.
Wait, let me look at the timestamp.
I'm
on when I
actually
wrote that.
embarrassed to give mine now because that is truly a saga.
It's 9
And
parts.
it's a 9-movie saga. So
There'll be like merch the whole 9 yards. It'll probably be a Disney, like a theme park.
what country are we thinking this is the biggest in?
Well, it's a fantasy land, so
Okay.
it's kind of just it's set in like
Well, no. What country is your demographic?
Scandinavian mostly, but
Eastern.
we're trying to branch out to like
Eastern
Indonesia and
European
stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, in that realm.
Yeah, I mean, this
guess-
truly, this sounds like this sounds like Stuart Little with an alcohol problem and also an extreme self-awareness issue with his because Stuart Little doesn't really seem to be aware that he's a rat.
Yeah, he's just like okay with it. I
He
guess.
thinks he's a young boy who dresses nice. But this is good.
He's
That's
just a
all I
little
agree.
guy who likes making lagers, and
He has passions. He has adversity. Like
there's all. I mean,
in the big and you know what I took from that is the biggest battle for Littleman Larry isn't going to be Barry Bigman.
it's not Barry Bigman. It's
Barry
himself.
Bigman is a manifestation of all of Littleman Larry's insecurities.
That's what he wants to be. Is Barry Bigman.
Wow. That's
But
good.
realistically,
dude.
Larry Littleman makes the best bloggers.
There's
he just-
layers to this Littleman.
There's so many layers to such a small man.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm sure that you would get. I'm
I could
sure
probably-
that you would get far with this pitch.
If there's somebody out there who owns some kind of company, like
You just heard gold.
they just like 3 months later, we look at like,
They're like, hey, we're
Warner
we
Brothers'
get
newest
emails and like
oh, we got no emails. It goes straight to the.
say what's a production company? A24.
Yeah,
It's like, hey man,
they're like, this
we
is weird.
heard the Larry Littleman saga, and we are in.
We're fully in.
Like,
Wait, who's gonna? Wait,
who's gonna fund
gotta-
that?
gotta figure out the casting situation as well.
I'm thinking.
I was thinking for-
Gyllenhaal is Larry Littleman,
Yeah,
and
we'd probably get Danny DeVito, but like CG him to be really big.
CGI him and turn him purple to be Barry Bigman. Since this is Fantasyland,
Yeah.
a purple Danny DeVito would fit right in, huh?
And our budget is really low, so
Our budget is starting at. My bank account has about.
would probably have to be an animated film, realistically.
God.
So we might need Pixar or something.
And then the first 7 are animated, and the last 2 are live action. So
there's like a whole like fan made Netflix series. Like it gets a lot of traction.
I am in whatever.
I'm in.
I'm in.
The CEO.
So
You're hired.
I really wish that I put as much effort in to this
Yeah, I
as you
kinda
did,
did a
because
lot.
now I look like an idiot. So hold on.
So now it's what was that?
That's me hitting all the buttons.
Oh.
You're the CEO of the elevator.
Switching.
Um,
Why did you do that? I have lunch to eat.
look, man, I'm a young movie writer.
Yep.
and
Here we go.
I'm not really the best at putting words to paper.
Oh.
So excuse my, and I didn't really plan on seeing you here today, but now that I have you for an unallotted amount of time, I just want to run this idea of a documentary
Okay.
past you.
I'll allow
You
it.
know, I love your past works with everybody or the Nobody Fuck with Cats.
Thank you.
That's great work from you. You did a lot of. You're a good detective in that. But so basically, the premise of my documentary is going to be about. So there's this young boy,
Okay.
and his name is Rotel,
Okay.
and Rotel has really bad leukemia, but even worse short-term memory loss.
Oh God.
Okay. So he gets brought to the hospital, and Make-A-Wish comes because
As they
his
do.
time is nigh. And Rotel tells Make-A-Wish, he's like, hey, I want to be a rapper, like Lil Durk and Post Malone.
Yeah.
And that would be my Make-A-Wish. If you can't do that for me, then leave. He's quite rude. So Make-A-Wish, it makes it happen, but it takes some time. So this is where his short-term memory comes in, and he's been posting tracks on SoundCloud and stuff.
Yeah. From the hospital bed.
from bedside.
The metronome is just his like beeping like lifeline thing. He's like beep, and he raps to it.
Make-A-Wish talks to Republic Records.
Yeah.
And they make this happen. They flood his SoundCloud with botted streams.
Yeah,
he's like, dude, I'm blowing up. And then Richard from Republic Records comes in and he's like, hey, kid, you've been doing great on the internet with your music. We would love to sign you, and we want to put you on a world tour. How does that sound?
He's like, of course, I deserve that. I'm
a young Rotel. Yes, a young rude Rotel would would accept the offer and be like, well, why didn't you come here sooner?
Yeah.
So Make-A-Wish sets up the world tour, and he's performing in Sri Lanka, like Ethiopia, Aragon, every third,
all the major,
all of the major third world countries that you would know of, and he's killing it, dude. Like they're filling up the arenas with other Make-A-Wish kids, and the fame it gets to Rotel's head.
Yeah,
and he acquires a humongous ego, a part of this, and he cuts off his family. He cuts off his family. He cuts off his friends, and he truly just becomes everything that he wanted to be. He lives his life as a rapper, and eventually, the reason why it's not a multi-part series is he forgot that he had leukemia.
Forgot,
and he does end up dying on the road in a way that many of the people he looked up to died.
Yeah.
And that would be the pitch, and I would call it Nobody's Nothing. Have you ever heard it? Little Peeps documentary is called Everybody's Everything.
Oh, so, yeah.
And they both had very similar ends with them dying. But yeah, that would be my documentary, and I know that you're a busy guy, and I'm glad that you've taken the time to listen to me. I'm sorry I didn't have.
Can you please let go of my wrist, and maybe I can write you down your number.
But you'll hear I'll hear back from you, right?
We'll call you. Okay.
Well, you don't really have to, because I'm actually the janitor at this building. So you'll be seeing a lot of me, because I just got to transfer to the top.
I know where your office is, and I'll be there soon.
And I know that you love fresh toilet cakes.
Come on.
Fresh cakes?
You look like a fresh
difference.
Cake. And that's when the doors open.
That's when the doors open, and the SWAT team comes in, because the CEO was bugged, and he was listening to everything that I was saying.
And then but I think there's something in there, like
there's some things in there.
You know, just the idea that what's being famous if you got leukemia and your loved ones aren't there?
What's being famous if you're gonna die alone?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, do you really want to trade that? I mean, the fate was, sad to say, inevitable the whole time.
He just
but he has terrible memories. So
because at the beginning of the movie, they established he has like 6 months left to live. Mm-hmm. This happens over a course of 6 months.
Yeah, and he lived it up, dude.
He keeps thinking that he has 6 months to live the entire time.
No, he thinks that he has the rest of. I mean, he thinks if you're famous, you could never really die.
Oh yeah, he just thinks being famous is like everything. And his music is really bad too.
And his music sucks, and everything is.
His name's Ratel.
So. It's just all of his views are boosted by labels, and he's just living a lie. But he dies. He dies having lived his dream. Whether it be
and that's when he realized his dream was not what it was cut out to be.
I mean, yeah, even if it was, controlled by a label and a company, like he still did it.
I don't know why we're doing podcasts. We could just be writing.
We should be writing scripts.
Wait, we need to move to LA and sit in a coffee shop and write some screenplays.
Sit at the Coffee Bean and hope we run into Crystal.
Yeah, just hope some famous guy walks in and we can do this.
Hey,
You're waited so
God
long.
forbid we see someone. God forbid we see someone famous and there's not an elevator nearby that we can press all the buttons on to.
Yeah, we just
spew bullshit too.
Every day you go in to elevators of big buildings and just wait for someone like
We're actually
to come
squatters in the elevator. No, wait. We would move to LA and we would be, those guys that it's a job to man the elevator in
Is
some
it really?
places. Yeah. Like they have a stool and they're dressed in like everyone that I've seen it seems to be wearing a white shirt and like a burgundy suit.
And you're wearing the fake mustache and
you have like a
CEO walks
train
in,
conductor hat on. It's really bad. But yeah, we would just get those drops and hope that we saw an exec.
And then that's when our story begins.
That's when
And then
our
realistically,
movie
they make a
begins.
movie about us doing that. And it's like
And we die tragically in the end as well.
I would watch that. Well, we kind of skipped over our weekend, but we had a pretty eventful weekend.
A no sleep type of
Oh,
weekend.
man. I think I got probably like 5-6 hours.
I've slept terrible for the past 2 weeks.
I took one 20-minute nap yesterday, and I think I saw the most vivid dreams I've ever had in my entire life.
Your eyelids were the weight of Rock Lee's ankle ankle bracelets.
And we started out because the Bro Code Network got invited to. It's at University of Georgia in Athens. So it was like a frat event, I guess, at a bar.
Yep, it
And,
was a frat event.
You could say it was, but yeah, it's a small fraternity, I guess. I mean,
It's kind of a microscopic
yeah,
fraternity,
it's a micro fraternity,
a micro frat,
and we show
if you
up
will.
like we're like on the flyer and stuff for this event, right? Like I guess we're supposed to be the thing like people go for, and we're there at the
I don't
bar.
think the flyer got around too much.
I think it might have gotten posted on like private accounts or something because
Or
just
close friends.
yeah, I
something.
think it was only posted
Close
on
friends with is nobody on the list.
But I don't want to get too far because we show up to their house, right? And there's
Mhm.
just like, I mean,
It is barren.
it looks like somebody just moved out of that apartment and they just were like, I guess we could just put some LEDs up here
They
and,
put some LEDs up
and alcohol.
and they put a big like sign with I forgot the name. I'm not going to dox the name of that fraternity
Yeah,
anyway. But and that was it. And 2 beer pong tables that were honestly really annoyingly placed.
Yeah, it was like in front of the kitchen. You can't get the kitchen.
They were like offset. So like one, as soon as you open up the door, it was right there, and then the other one was like blocking the entrance to the kitchen. It was
and there was no furniture. It's just beer pong, LEDs, and alcohol.
and a couple phone chargers
Yeah.
like hanging out the wall.
And so we go there to
Wait,
pregame,
I have
whatever.
I have an Uber story on the way there.
Yeah.
That'll preface this. So David goes with
we all like go in our own Ubers.
yeah, we go on our own Uber. Like we split up into packs, and
Yeah.
I ended up getting in the Uber with I thought it was 3 fraternity members, but it turned out to be just 1 fraternity member and 2 random kids that were at the party.
Who allowed these people?
I don't
in
know
here?
who allowed them. But as soon as I get in the Uber, I'm the only member of the bro code in there. And the guy in the front seat turns around and he's like, "So are you like Simba's bodyguard or something?" And
Some like fratty looking 16-year-old.
and I looked at him. No, it was that guy in the Odell Beckham jersey.
Oh.
And I looked at him and I was like, "What, bro?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like,
Gabriel
I
from
was
the
like,
Epic
I
Show.
do comedy too. I was like, I'm not
I
his
make jokes.
bodyguard. I'm not to be like a dick or anything.
Right.
Like, not that he should know me, like by any means.
Just started off in a
But I
bad
mean,
foot.
just because I'm big, he's like,
like,
"You're
wait.
big.
You're big. Who do you protect?
You must be the protector of this group." And I was like, okay, whatever. And I'm sitting in there, and this fraternity guy is like super excited, like to
He
be
loved it.
talking to us and like,
Nice guy.
hey, yeah, sweet kid. And I'm saying kid because on the way to the fraternity, on the way to the bar, they all decided to tell me their ages. And the frat member,
Nobody asked.
The frat member was 20. And I was like, you're not even 21?
I did not know that.
I was like, and we're going to a bar? And he was like, yeah, I mean, it's not an issue here. And I was like,
it's cool.
And I was like, okay, 20, like, it's whatever. And then the kid in the front seat, the disrespectful one, was like, bro, I'm 18. And then, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you're 18? I was like, are you even in college? And he was like, yeah, I live down the road. And then the frat guy was like, bro, you're 18 and in college? That's crazy. And he said, yeah, bro, I'm him. That's what he said. He said, yeah, bro, I'm him. And I was like,
I'm that guy.
You're that guy. And then the kid in the front seat, had brought a friend, and he sat directly behind him. And he peeped up and he was like, damn, bro, I'm only 16.
What the hell?
And I said, what the fuck, dude? I was like, what is this?
Disclose that. First of all, who let you in there?
The Uber driver's just like trucking on, taking us to the
Uber
bar.
driver just like recording.
I was like,
I'm
24. And then they were like, oh no, that's not that old, bro. Like, dude, what do you mean? I know it's not that old.
Yeah.
You're saying it like I am old though. Like, I didn't say it like I was like, oh, I'm 24.
I'm actually 24.
No. So yeah, that was really annoying. And finding out that information really prefaced the vibes of how that was going to go at the bar.
We show up to this event, and there was some people there at first.
Oh no, at first it was popping.
Yeah, and then we got there, and they're like, time to go. And like, it was just like a really narrow bar with an upstairs part, I guess.
The upstairs part was secluded off for us,
right?
As well, which also doesn't make sense for the flyer, because
why would we be separated?
If people were to come for us, why would they want to look at? First of all,
just look up.
Look at us.
Yeah, like
from the bottom of the bar and just see us up there drinking and
and then
hitting the renegade up there or something like what?
Like
Also, let me also say, whenever we got to their house, like, a fraternity has girls, bro. Like, they bring girls out to their stuff. There was no girls.
Not a single.
There wasn't one girl. Like, bring your sister, bro. Like, dude, I don't know.
But they were stressing out because they're like, we bought the Bro Code Network here. Like,
we bought them a hotel.
Oh yeah, they did. They bought a lot of things.
No. They didn't really. Did they buy a lot of things?
Like the tab and the Airbnb and all this.
Okay.
At least a couple of racks.
They bought us a hotel room. And then they also bought $1,000 tab for us for us and the fraternity to drink on.
Yeah, the event was a flop. At this point,
no one showed up, bro. Literally not a soul walked through that door.
They're stressing out. We're like, Simba feels bad because like he brought us here to kind of spice up the event, and it didn't work. So at that point, we're like, well, like maybe we can go out and like let people know we're here.
As if we're like the Avengers.
Yeah, as if like people were like, no way, it's the Bro Code. Like, and then realistically, it's like, oh no way, I see the guys on TikTok, and they walk by.
No way, it's. Oh wait, dude, I love your TikToks. You're Simba, right?
They like push everybody else, like everybody's like, no way.
And
I like that guy.
Literally 11 of us.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, dude, I love your videos, man. And like,
we all just stand around Simba as
they take a picture, and then they leave.
And
we're not celebrities, like at all. Like,
no one wants to like come drink with.
Yeah, no one really. Yeah, so. Simba was like, dude, what are we going to do? And I was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. I was
here's
like,
the plan.
Because Simba struggles making decisions sometimes. Whenever under extreme stress,
yeah,
he needs a little.
He has a lot of things to do.
And because his head is always.
Yeah.
So I was like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to other bars, and we're gonna try
We're gonna wrangle some
and
people.
recruit some people to come back here, so this isn't a complete failure.
Right.
And we leave the bar. We tell the frat what's going on, and they're like, "Okay." We leave the bar, and then it just turned into, "Well, what bar are we going to?"
Yeah. No, but like one of the guys from the frat like came out to follow us to make
Yeah,
sure
he
we're, like,
followed
doing-
us to make sure we were gonna wrangle other people
Yeah.
into bringing them.
But he tried to
back.
make it like not seem obvious.
Yeah,
He's
but
just,
it
like
was
on his he'll like we'll look at him and he'll just look straight down and be on his phone like
yeah, like,
like-
he was pretty obvious about like how pissed he was.
yeah.
So we went to these other bars and like we partied.
We just went in and out like
And
as you
yeah,
would
it was
normally.
we partied
Didn't
for
really
like
do anything.
literally 10 minutes at each bar,
And he was like, all right, time to go.
and we were like, okay, well, we need to head back to the original bar.
Yeah.
And like we didn't even get noticed in those bars.
No. Well, a couple
So-
times somebody got noticed.
Simba
a couple
got
times.
noticed, and he tried to get people to come, and they were like, but they were already plastered.
Right.
So it's
Too
whatever.
late.
It's too late. It was the bars closed at 2 out there, and it was
It was already like 1 at this
1:45.
point, yeah.
like, so we go back, and then I have to like tell the guy, I was like, dude, we tried. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
this didn't go like how everyone expected it was going to.
Right.
And
And he did not like it.
no, he didn't like that because he, I guess he paid a lot of money for us to be
Yeah.
there.
I mean, it's not it's unfortunate, but like
But that's just the way things go.
maybe next
sometimes,
time get I don't know.
And maybe next time, okay, if anyone's listening, maybe next time get a really, really poppin' bar. And then this won't be an issue.
Maybe not Flanagan's or
I
whatever
don't
it was
maybe
called.
not O'Flanagan's. You know?
Athens is so like I'd never been to Athens.
I don't think I
Like-
saw a girl over the age of 20 years old.
Right.
So.
It just looks like high school after they let you out of class. It's just like
And then everyone's just gets to go drink.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was not a sight I wanted to
It's
see ever see
weird.
again.
But
There's like the dude like from asking drunk girls questions like, "Oh, you like
He's out
nice
there.
guys or assholes?" Like one of
Yeah.
those guys there.
he was out there. But the next day was way more fun. In my
Yeah, so
opinion.
we
Like,
drove back from Athens exhausted.
that next morning.
And then I took my vivid dream nap. And then we went to this EDM. It's like a
Iris presents Pre-Imagine.
yeah, so it's like a pre-event for Imagine, which is, EDM.
Mhm.
Wow, all that stuff.
Yeah. And we were like there for Beatbox to make videos.
Yeah, beatbox like
to promote for Bro
brought us there,
Code.
yeah.
And it was fun, dude. Like the music was a lot of fun. Like at the after party was the most fun.
Yeah. Because
The
most of it is just the
regular part was not fun at all.
Right.
Like it was just too many people, and it
don't-
was outside. It was hot. It was like raining, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not my vibe.
I'm sure I'm like filming stuff.
But they gave us a section and like 3 bottles or something like that, and it was sick. But me and David hadn't eaten since 11:30 that morning.
EDM ravers don't eat, I guess.
No, because there's no food truck
There's
out there.
nothing.
Well, no, they don't eat because they take Molly, and
Oh.
Molly is meth, and
Okay.
it makes you not want to eat.
Okay.
And
This is not my scene.
no, it's not your scene at all.
Being in public is not my scene generally, but
Being seen is not your scene.
Yeah.
So we were starving, and we were like, dude. First of all,
Yeah,
Simba was like, "Don't worry, guys. Like, I
I
love
got
him,
y'all."
dude. He's so sweet." But he was like, "I got y'all. Like, don't worry."
Just
And
to put
he
in
was
your
like, "What do
order.
y'all want from Panda Express?" I should have thought. I was like, I don't know if there's Panda Express around here.
Yeah.
But he ended up ordering $120 worth of Panda Express from Los Angeles because he
California.
forgot to realign his Doordash
Oh my gosh.
location to Atlanta. And they went and picked that order up, and he canceled it, and he didn't get
the
his money back.
driver's like, your address has changed, and it's there's some street in Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
It's
I
like,
don't know if
well,
I can make it there in
I
time.
don't know if I can make that. The
And-
food would literally have mold on it by the time.
And Yeah, by the time the actual imagined event starts, he'll be there. But so at this point, we're left to our own devices and have to DoorDash ourselves. And my food was all right, got there. Yours, however, first of all, Lucky China is about to get yelped. So
Lucky China is getting yelped, by the way. So it wasn't Lucky China's fault. It was the DoorDash driver's fault. I go outside. I leave the section. I go outside, and I wait on the corner. And he pulls up, and he's like, "Gabe?" And then he throws me the food, and then
as he's driving, just
drives off. Yeah, literally as he's driving, just does a drive-by on my food. And I get in the section. I come back to the section, and I open it up, and I am so hungry at this point. And I ordered 10 teriyaki wings and beef fried rice, right?
Simple.
I open it up. It's shrimp fried rice and this terrible sushi roll, dude. And I was like, and I threw a fucking fit. I could have snapped on somebody at that point. I'm glad nobody said anything. But I was so angry. So I was like, fuck it, dude. I was like, here, who wants this shit? I started giving it away and picking the shrimp out of the fried rice so I could eat the fried rice at least.
What's wrong with shrimp fried rice?
Oh, whenever half of it was literally just cut off dried shrimp tails.
Oh.
Half of it literally was the tails, bro. It was disgusting.
Horrid.
It was disgusting. That's what I would yelp Lucky China for.
You probably should yelp that.
But it's 25 minutes after he dropped that off. He got 2 orders from the same place and drove to the other house and realized, oh, this is that guy's order.
Exactly.
And he DMs me on DoorDash, and he's like, I gave you the wrong order. Where you at?
Where you at, bro?
He's going to go switch off the orders and just take it to the other guy after an hour. And I tell him my location, and I don't tell him that I rashed the food already.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting that food. I'm getting
You're
the shit
I'm
that I ordered.
determined. You were gone. We were out because we had to do something. You were still dealing with this for an hour.
Yeah, I dealt with this for probably an hour. And he came back and he hopped out of the car, and his girlfriend was driving, and he walked up to me. He was like, "Here's your order," and I had the order behind me, but it was clearly all opened and rashed, and I was like, "Hey man, people's hands have already been in that." And he was like, "What? You ate it?" And I was like, "Oh, I gave it away because it was the wrong order. I didn't think you were coming back."
Yeah.
And he was like,
"It's dude."
He was like, "For real?"
It's your fault.
And I was like, "Dog, you gave me the wrong food." I was like, "I don't know what you want me to do. I'm starving." And I just went back in the event.
But you got that food though, right? Or no?
He gave me my food.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you got the original order.
Yeah.
I'm
getting mine. I'll tell you that right now. I'm getting mine. Because if I had told him over text that I rashed that order, he probably would have just been like, fuck it, and then never came back to give me mine.
Right.
That's, or at least that's how I think. He's like, oh, well, I don't really gain anything out of this.
Dude, as a fellow, I was in some communities I was considered a DoorDash expert. I was top dasher around the city. I would not personally allow that, but that's besides the point.
You're personally, bro?
Personally, for me, I'm
what would you have done if I did that? If you were
first of all, I would have never made that mistake.
Yeah, let's be honest here. Yeah, and Kelsey would never be driving you.
Yeah, no.
To do DoorDash.
I brought her DoorDash with me one time, and it was the worst time ever. It's why are you subjecting your girlfriend to your DoorDashing?
To work.
You can DoorDash at any time. Why would you pick the time where you're...
Some people do it as a trendy little hangout. But
it's not bad.
But I think that was a thing that was coined by DoorDash. It was you do a DoorDash date where you guys do a side hustle together.
You should work.
You should
on your
work
date.
for us, even when you're with your loved ones. And they're just making money.
But that kind of makes me, because we had a conversation the next day about this, but this is just another reason why it's good that we don't have superpowers. Because
that's facts.
that guy was not living. If you were a superhero in that situation.
Because I was so angry at that point. And if I was if I was a specimen with super abilities,
oh yeah,
he would have had a taste of whatever that ability
whatever
was.
ability you had, he was tasting all of it.
Let me tell you, if I was Homelander, he would have gotten a beam.
Yeah, instantly.
If I was the Deep, I would have ripped my gills off and I would have shoved his little face
suffocated in the gills.
In the gills. Like, if I was Black Noir, as soon as he got out of that car, I'm throwing.
You're like, oh, you're just like, okay, you leave and you're food, and then 5 minutes later, you like emerge from the back seat.
And I'm like,
jump out, backflip out of the ceiling.
Dude, if I was the Flash, I would have ran around the earth and punched him on my way back.
In every reality.
I would have used the speedster force to punch him from every angle, and he would just pop because I was that hangry. And It's so good that I'm not. And honestly, David brought up what he would do. He asked me.
No, because we were in traffic.
We were in traffic on the way to the event, and he was like, hey.
It was bad traffic.
You tell it.
I was like, it's so good, like, if I was like Doctor Strange right now, or if I had telekinesis, like all these cars in front of me are just getting flown off the highway, like
because no one is as important as me on this highway.
It was that bad of traffic where I'm like, okay, like I wish I
don't even care about the lives of these people.
I'm just like, all right, you're flinging cars,
fling. And like there's like a sound barrier, like wall on the side of on the side of the highways, and I was like,
this
is where
flinging him into it.
I would be.
At this point, you're just making a game of it. You're like, oh, I wonder if I could hit this like spot on the wall, and you're just like,
you're like tech-decking him, like making him do like nollie tray flips into the wall and shit,
making him like grind on the rails and stuff.
And like my favorite one, if I was Doctor Strange, like I would. You see all the lines of traffic, and then you just open up a portal.
Yeah, right in front of them.
Very far ahead of you, and then you just go
push them all into
push them all into the pit of hell
to clear up traffic. You're like, oh, that's nice.
And then you seal it back.
You're like, well,
and then you get to go free.
And like half of like someone's bumper gets like cut off from it.
You're like splitting families.
Oh, nice. When in actuality, if you're Doctor Strange, you didn't need to even drive. You could just.
That's whenever David was like, in reality, if you're Doctor Strange, you could just fly. Like, why would me, with Doctor Strange powers, own that Ford Fusion sitting in my driveway?
Right.
You know, like, why would I be in debt to somebody if I could fly?
But you could just, I mean, we were talking about it, like, you're just, I could just steal like any car because I could just portal to it and portal out, and now I have a sick car. But it's like, at that point, why do you need to show off your car if every time you drive,
you get on the road, you just mash
people
into you mash people into hell, and then close the gate on them. There's no one to show the car off to at that point.
But I think if I actually had superpowers, like I would definitely want to. We've talked about this a long time ago, but I would definitely want to be like a hero. Like, even if there's no one to save, like, dude,
not enough unrealistic crime happening to be a hero, man. You'd just be too overpowered for the muggers and like the shoplifters. Like, what's the point of being a hero, dude? Tell me your point.
I watch too many animes and superhero movies. It just makes me want to do it.
Well,
but what if if you save somebody's life? That's worth it. If you save one person's life,
that's true.
It's worth.
And then that person gets up and becomes a bad person and goes back home and beats their wife.
Well, at that point, then I got to beat that guy.
No. Look, the only reason that it would be justifiable for you to become a hero is because me in this world would be a villain.
Yeah.
And I would be your villain. You. And you'd have to fight me.
Oh,
but, wait. And this is where it gets real embarrassing for David.
No.
What would be your, if you were any superhero or like any superpower?
Are you saying like what I said? Because I remember
What, did you pick like flying or something?
No, I remember I said like if I could pick powers, I'd want to have Spider-Man's powers just because it'd be fun.
Okay. Well,
But I don't know.
I have mind control.
Oh yeah, that would. But what's mind control to a thoughtless man?
What's mind control to an Andrew Tate fan?
I'm like, no, but like I have to beat you, so I'm like, oh, like he controls my mind. Like, what can I do? And I just watch 16 hours of red pill
Join
Andrew Tate
Hustlers
videos.
University.
Yeah, to like to dumb my brain down so I can just have no
To
thoughts.
strengthen the walls.
Yeah.
It's not dumbing down. You're strengthening the walls to your brain and fortifying it in the most sigma male way.
I train my TikTok For You page to just be the most mindless content possible, and I just watch that for 24 hours straight. And then I show up to your HQ, and you're just trying to.
And my HQ is literally like Fort Knox, dude. Like, and I have, sorry to tell you, Spidey, dumb Spidey.
No.
I've got 1 million bodyguards that are ready to die
Well-
for me because I told them that I lied to them and I told them that I was their favorite person ever and that they would do anything for me to protect.
You made. I mean,
They would
mind
become
control. You can just-
feral little savages to protect me.
Well, I
They
busted
would
in there.
even bite you.
Why would they bite me?
And they're not. And also, I also told them that they weren't afraid of spiders. So
You just mentally reconstruct them to counter me entirely.
Mhm.
That's. I don't know if I'll make it.
have
out
the
of that.
masses.
But I bust in there, and you're like, you again, and you go to use your mind control powers, and I just run straight through it because I'm
Because
an
you're
idiot
so
now.
dumb.
And I just like, but at this point, I don't even know how to fight anymore. I'm just
It's like my.
where are you?
You're so dumb that you've lost your vision in your eyes. Like you've forgotten how to see.
I'm just
You're so
complete
dumb.
fly
But
brain
like
at this point.
I'm for some reason I'm throwing my mind control powers, and it's like a blue like
It's a blob.
It's like a
yeah,
blue
stream.
it's like a blue Apple text like, and I'm like
Because the budget for this film is very low. It's just stock images of
of stuff being
Blu-rays.
thrown at his head, and it's just bouncing off because it won't
just
like
bounces off my thick forehead. And I go up to you, and then at this point, I don't even know where I am or why I'm here anymore.
But you're running so hard into me because you're so strong.
And then I
and
just
it pops
bust you
me.
through,
I just
and you explode. Yeah, like A-Train. I just pop
yeah,
you,
it just pops me.
and then that's how I beat you. And that's the first movie. So maybe you should pitch that to the CEO.
Jeez. I don't even know how it got on and all that shit. Stupid as fuck.
But you
But,
would
like-
100% be a villain.
Oh, I would
Just
definitely be a
'cause
villain. And
You would
and
literally be the guy throwing people off the highway.
well, no, because my powers would either be teleportation or
Yeah.
and not like stupid teleportation where I got to be like
You got to do some.
stand and do like a fire
I
dance.
just pop.
I just go wow.
You just go,
Yeah.
and then you're gone.
Yeah, it's literally just I'm literally anywhere
Gabe's
I want to
gone.
be. But like, dude, imagine you're fighting me and I'm just like and then like a punch to your spleen.
And then you're behind
And
me,
then
and just
and then
yeah, and you're just teleporting.
I'm just pop, pop,
Back
pop,
and
pop,
forth.
like hitting you from every angle.
That
I
would,
wouldn't even need super strength. Like,
but if say there's no like realistically you're not needed in the world as a hero and you have this power, like having teleportation is probably one of the best.
oh no,
you
well, I'm a
can think
villain.
of. Oh, so if you got
I'm
powers,
still a villain. I'm like
Why,
beating
you're
up
just
presidents.
going out
I'm
of
like
your way to
beating
hurt-
up presidents and stuff.
you could just wear a mask, go in there and pop the president in the nose, and then just
And then be like, what the fuck was that? Like the whole country goes on lockdown because I'm just like
they don't know where it's
Like,
coming from.
what? And dude, and they would like the end goal of this would be like they would put him so far underground to like
You're
protect
like,
him, and like he's like shivering in like a little like,
In a like
underground base.
Yeah.
And I just pop up and like, and I fart and I leave,
pop out,
and he's like,
and that's what kills him, not the punches. Just your Chipotle fart.
No, I would teleport to all the different, like the spiciest capitals
Yeah,
of the
you're like,
world,
"Oh,
and I would construct like the most deadliest fart out of all these different cuisines.
Use that. Hey, you could just teleport up if you really want to kill him. Just teleport a bomb in there or something.
No,
like, no,
it must be done
It
in
has to be
my
for my
way.
guests.
Oh my god!
Just instantly upon nostril impact.
What?
Dead.
What? Like, really? Like my day-to-day thoughts. Like whenever I'm in traffic, David thought about it in like a superhero way, but I thought about it in more of like a
Convenience.
Metal
way, or-
Gear Solid, like gory type of way, where like I just had like this blade. Like this is my thought process. Like if I'm in like standstill traffic for like miles, like I just have this blade, and I just go like, and
That
it
just
like
goes
it
across
severs everyone and all their
God.
cars in half.
And
Like,
That's just
then-
such a more bloody way to deal with
I don't know why I always thought of that, because like whenever I'm in traffic, like they need to die too.
because you're that mad.
For some
You're like,
reason,
"All right."
yeah, I get unreasonably mad. Like,
It's just like intrusive thought. If your
And I wanna
intrusive thoughts
cause-
were powers,
yeah, I mean, don't put me in a car by myself and
powers.
and expect good things to come out of it and make me sit in it for an hour and a half longer than I need to, and think positive things are going to be said.
you
or
really
thought.
think that guy is gonna be positive
Yeah,
influence?
you think me? You think I'm going to be positive in any situation? Nay.
The end is nigh for you, if I am he. Well, I
That's
guess
why I don't have here.
Before we just-
powers.
we'll talk about more gruesome scenarios. We'll leave that for episode 7,
Yeah, that sounds good.
and we're gonna cut this off. This is episode 6 of the episode.
We love you guys. Thank you guys for 1,000 followers
yeah.
on our Instagram. That's so sick.
That's
dude.
awesome. Just
We-
for the first month.
Did not think like, dude, the first month, dude, and we get 1,000 organic followers. I mean, besides like the 500 that I paid for. No, I'm kidding. 1,000 like.
Wait, I paid for 500.
We have 10 followers. Real. It's like my mom, my two sisters, like Jordan.
That explains the comments then.
Oh, and shout out Lainey.
Our biggest fan.
Our
Thank you.
biggest fan, actually. she thought of a drinking game to do for the
Oh,
epic
yeah.
show while and she was like, I was like, I said something about like, okay, so her idea was every time David says that he was 12 years old in a story, you take a shot. And
Oh,
every
you'd be
time,
plastered.
yeah, and every time that you take, or every time that David says that he grew up on the internet, you take a shot. And she was like, I don't really have anything for you. And I was like, well,
You'll be drunk plenty off of just that.
yeah, that alone. I was like, I don't think we're going to kill people listening
Yeah,
to
we
that.
don't even murder people.
And I was like, every time I bounce my leg.
oh gosh.
But she was like, and her response was, well, you're not thinking about the average woman who's driving to work listening to you guys. And I was like, the average woman who's drinking while driving listening to us, like playing the epic show drinking game. And
Driving?
Like, and she came up with like a scenario on her own, and she was like, oh, like if she got pulled over like by the cop for drinking and driving,
He's like, no, I'm just doing the game.
the cop hears the epic show, and he's like,
Oh,
oh,
then-
did David just say he was 12 again? And he pulls out his flask.
He's like, oh, I didn't know you're. That's not
He's
the
like,
epic show. I didn't know you're
fuck.
chill like that. Lets you go. He's like, oh, David just. He's
David
like,
just said he was 12.
wait, is that the epic show? David, 12 years old. Just pours a shot of like. some
You're
elaborate
good to
whiskey.
go. But yeah, shout out Lainey. Thank you for that great idea. And we love you all equally as much.
Also, I haven't prefaced this, but the new episodes every Monday, Monday morning generally. So, trying to get it so you can listen to us in your beautiful morning commutes.
Mhm.
So, just
And-
to help you not want to blow your brains out on the way to work.
Just to show you guys how dedicated we are, every episode comes out at Monday morning at 5 a.m. And right now, as
Oh,
we're
man.
filming this, it is Monday morning at 1:20 a.m.
Bear with
So
me.
this episode will be edited by David, thank God, and released by 5 a.m. in
I
3
literally-
hours.
Last week, I literally stayed up, pulled an all-nighter just because I had no
Same
time,
thing.
and All right, but thank you guys so much for watching.
We love
appreciate
y'all.
you. And we'll see you next Monday.
Epic.